Good morning, students. Today you are going to learn about the first chapter, chemical reactions and equation. In the beginning, we should know first what is the chemical reaction. Chemical reaction is the process in which one or more substances are formed as a new substances, and it cannot be reversed by any physical method. It involves change in a state, change in a color, change in a temperature, and evolution of gas. So this is called as a chemical reaction. Now can you see this? Here you can see burner and the substance inside it is a lead nitrate, and one test tube is containing that lead nitrate which is burning. We can see that some gas is evolved in this reaction. That gas is evolution of gas. Here also you can see test tube also contain one substance chemical which evolves one gas. Then in this reaction also you can see gas is evolved. So these are the various reaction you can see. Sodium chloride with the silver nitrate. So when we observed reaction, we have seen some gases has evolved. But in our day-to-day life, we can see here are some chemical reaction which are taking place in our day-to-day life. So first is a digestion of food. What actually happens when food is digested? When food is digested, the substances which we are taken in, food material which we are taken in, they are converted into other form and some energy is formed. That is a different kind of products are formed. Then same thing, respiration, we take in oxygen gas and carbon dioxide is evolved. That are the different products. Rusting in iron also one kind of chemical reaction. In this also different substances are formed. Formation of curd. Earlier the substance is milk, and after reaction curd is formed. Burning of wood, burning of fuel. When you see this reaction, all reaction you can see there are the different substances. So the reactants are those substances which take part in chemical reaction, and the substances which are formed, they are called product. So if we see this reaction magnesium, in this magnesium and oxygen are the reactants, and the product which is formed after burning, it is a magnesium oxide which is called as a product. Now what is chemical equation? Chemical equation, this is the chemical equation. It is represented by symbol of substances, reactants and products, and there is an arrow between them. So here if you see this example, you can see magnesium and oxygen are the reactant, and the substance which is formed after reaction, it is called as a magnesium oxide. In this reaction, if we see in the bracket S is given, it means solid. In the bracket if L is given in any substrate, it is called liquid, and in the bracket G is given, it is called gas, and if AQ is written in the bracket, it is called aqueous. What is meant by aqueous solution? Aqueous solution is the solution which is in the form water form. So this is about the any chemical equation, its information. Now what is the need of balancing a chemical reaction? So there is one law which is called as the law of conservation of mass. According to this law, it states that matter can neither be created nor be destroyed during a chemical reaction. So number of elements, that is atoms, involved in a chemical reaction should be same on the reactant side and a product side. According to this law, we need to balance the chemical reaction. Now how to balance the chemical reaction? Here one example is given, you can see, that is the iron when react with water, that is the rusting of iron. Here you can see iron oxide is formed. So in this, while balancing, we should know that when we balance the reaction, we should know that reactant, as we have discussed earlier, number of atoms of reactants are equal to the number of atoms in the product side. If we make a table, you can see here, if we count these elements, iron on the reactant side, that is LHS side, you can see it's one iron. Then hydrogen, if we see, there are two hydrogen. If we see oxygen, it is the one oxygen. And RH side, two iron atoms are there. Then two hydrogen atoms are there, but oxygen atoms are three. So when we match this, we can see only hydrogen is matching. Other both atoms are not matching. Number of atoms are not matching. So what we have to do? We need to match it. Both number should be equal, LHS side and RHS side. When the both number will equal, then we can say the reaction is balanced. So what things need to be taken into care, that we will see now, that we have to balance it by putting number in front of each substance like reactants or products, so that both the side of elements, atoms of elements or atoms of compounds, whatever is given in the reaction, should be equal, and hence we can balance the chemical reaction. Now in this chapter you are going to learn about the various type of chemical reaction. In this, first type is chemical reaction, is combination reaction. Second type is decomposition reaction. Third type is displacement reaction. Fourth type is the double displacement reaction. Fifth type is precipitation reaction, and sixth type is redox reaction. Each one by one, each in detail you are going to learn in this chapter. So first let us see what is meant by combination reaction. When you see this reaction, you will see that in the reactant side there are two substances and they combine, and there is a formation of single product. So when two or more reactants are combined to form a single product, this reaction is called combination reaction. In second case, if you see calcium oxide, when react with water, calcium hydroxide is formed, which is the single product. And reactant side you can see two reactants are there. In this reaction also, second reaction, burning of coal, you can see carbon when react with oxygen, carbon dioxide, that is single product is formed. And third reaction also you can see when water and hydrogen react with each other, single product, that is hydrogen gas is water is formed. So this is combination reaction, that is two or more reactants form a single product. Now we will go to the next type of reaction, that is the decomposition reaction. In this type of reaction you can see this is the opposite of, we can say, combination. That is, in combination what we have seen, product was single. But if you see here in this reaction, reactant is single substance and breakdowns into two or more substances. It can be affected by heat, that is thermal decomposition. If electricity is affected, then it is called as an electrolysis. And if light is affected by light, then it is called photolysis. So these are the different type of decomposition reaction. Now first we will see the decomposition by heat. Decomposition by heat, one example is, first is decomposition of ferrous sulfate. So what we do, we take a powder of ferrous sulfate in a test tube and we heat it. After heating, we will observe that red color substance is formed, that is ferrous oxide, iron oxide, and two gases are evolved, that are sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. This reaction is in your practical work also. You will learn this reaction. And second reaction is called decomposition of lead nitrate. It will come in the thermal decomposition. In this reaction also, single reactant and products are more than 2, that is lead oxide, nitrogen dioxide and oxygen. So this is called decomposition by heat. Now decomposition reaction of lead nitrate. You can see here diagram is shown here. In this diagram, after heating lead nitrate, you can see gas is formed. That brown gas, that is nitrogen dioxide. Now second type is decomposition by electricity. That is, this reaction is called electrolysis. So here example is decomposition of water. In this, water is when electricity is passed through the water, two gases are formed, hydrogen and oxygen, and the ratio is the 2:1. In this, electrolytic cell is taken, in that rods are dipped in the water and the electricity is passed through it. When electricity is passed, two gases are formed in the test tube. You can see this already, you have studied in earlier classes. That ratio is 2:1. 2 part of hydrogen and 1 part of oxygen is formed. So this is the decomposition by electricity. Example is decomposition of water. So this kind of setup is given for understanding this. These are the two electrodes and this is the electricity supply. You can see the, here you can see now proportion 2:1. 2 is hydrogen and 1 is oxygen. 1 part is oxygen. So this way hydrolysis of water is the type of reaction, chemical reaction. Now decomposition, that hydrolysis of water is a decomposition reaction which is electricity is involved. Electrolysis it is called. Now decomposition by light, it is called photolysis of this chemical reaction is called photolysis. So in this, silver chloride is exposed into sunlight. So silver chloride, when exposed to sunlight, silver, grey color substance silver is formed and chlorine gas is released. One more example is given, photosynthesis. As you all know, photosynthesis, carbon dioxide is required, water is required, and glucose is formed, that is starch, and oxygen gas is evolved, that is the required for our breathing. So this is also one kind of photolysis, that is sunlight is required. Main thing is what? Sunlight is required. And this reaction is called decomposition by photolysis. So these two reactions are given here, the same, silver nitrate, decomposition and photosynthesis, both reactions are given here. Now next type of reaction is displacement reaction.